And hello, I'm going to be making this video to show the common shadow script. I'm going to be showing like the common things that can happen when having a PS2 Slim and not getting disk to read properly. So we will be going over multiple scenarios, one of many being putting your PlayStation disc in the system, closing it, and it taking multiple seconds to load up, or you kind of hear like a little bit of like not like heavy grinding, but a little like clip, 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 clip. Just kind of like the general consensus of what is going to be the main root cause of a PlayStation that has been around for almost 20 years. The things that will probably happen over time. We'll go over quick fixes first. There's usually always a quick fix in terms of like lid switches, and then we will go to like general cleaning and upkeep. And then if that doesn't solve the majority of the issues, we're going to start going into laser stuff, which is very easy to do. It just takes a little bit of practice and like just a little bit of patience, but nothing is not doable. So let's get started. All right, and we're back here. So I've got my PlayStation 2. This is my second model that I play on. This is my backup. My model of choice that I use is this guy. This is just my more lubed up. I'll get to it, but this one has like a more properly lubed up worm motor, and I'll point out all the worm motors and all that stuff. But both 90K, just so like if we're working with 90Ks, which most people are. I know you can't see that. It's a little the webcam zoomed in a little bit, so I apologize. Working with what I got. So yeah, 90Ks. So we should be looking at 90Ks. Most of the stuff is going to pertain to 90Ks today. If you do have a 77 or 75 or 7000 model, just let me know, and I can tell you the board differences. But main difference with the difference 90K to 77K. So we'll just say 7X or 9X version. There's going to be a main difference, and I guess I'll get to that main difference once we open it up. But I guess I'll just go ahead and start by explaining like how to open the PlayStation 2. It is actually very simple. I was pretty worried the first time I did it because I thought it was snapping and breaking stuff, but these are very rigid. So don't be worried you're gonna break something, because like these types of consoles, it's one of those things where you absolutely know, like if you're pulling on plastic, like it's not just going to instantly give. Like you're going to know if you feel like you're breaking something. Okay. Anyways, let's carry on here. I don't have the video editing skills that I wish that I had, so this might be a little bit more information on the go than one might want. Who just wants the simple tell me what to do? But I mean, at least you'll get good general knowledge. I won't say anything that doesn't pertain to what we're doing. So, all right, let's open this guy up. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1, 2 rubber pads. These rubber pads do not come off, so don't try to just like rip them off. I've gotten broken PlayStations where people tried to rip these off and were like, oh shit, they don't come off. So just these two. You can do this with a butter knife or what have you. I just have like a little tool right here that I just pick them out with. So just these two rubber pads. And then from those two rubber pads, you have a hidden one right here under this. I guess it would be the don't break the seal if you don't want to send it back to PlayStation.com. So don't forget about that one. You might have to take like an edge and cut into it. But all right. And then from there, we just have these plastic bits. And then from there, that's it. You can see my fucking sweaty ass motherfucking hands. So if me with hyperhidrosis can mod and fix consoles with my disgustingly, disgustingly sweaty hands, um, you absolutely can do this because it is miles harder for me to do the majority of, of this work. All right. Anyways, let me stop talking about myself. Let's get to this. So 2 rubbers, 1 hidden, 3 plastic bits. Put them off like in a little tray, like so. I like to keep all of my stuff in one central location. You will lose shit. You will lose shit. So please, um, yeah, just get it going. So I have like a screwdriver, just like a classic Phillips tip. You don't want it to go too small. A lot of people like to go pretty small because they're like, well, they're really small screws. They're really not as small as you think. So just like a normal size. You don't need a micro screw. But the biggest things for all gaming consoles, retro or otherwise, is you really do not want to script these screws. When you put it in, put lots of pressure on the base of it, and then just slowly turn. Just very little effort. Yeah, and then we're just gonna do that for all 5, and then yeah, I will come back to opening the case. All right, see you in a bit. All right, and we are back. We have taken all the screws out, of all the holes here. So the way that you're gonna want to start opening these cases is I like to open them from the back. Sorry, I gotta remember that I'm on video here. I like to open them from the back. So what I like to do is kind of start with either the power or the Ethernet port that nobody ever uses, and kind of just start prying a little bit. If you're I've opened this up a couple times, so it's gonna like kind of naturally come out because it's been. If yours is like one that's never been opened, find something like maybe even like a butter knife or maybe something with like a more of an edge to it. You don't want something crazy sharp. I mean, I guess you can get an X-Acto knife in there and kind of just like pry it open, and then do the same thing here. Kind of just like follow the edges and then pry it open. I have like a little toolkit that has little. I don't know if you have things around or maybe a toolkit with them, but like little spudgers like this would be good to like pop in there on one side and then kind of try to finagle the other side. Sorry, I'm getting off topic with what we're doing currently. So move this aside. So you're going to want to pry this open and just kind of follow it around. So when you're going to get to like this side and it's going to start to feel tight and you can pull, and what that is that you're pulling it just like there, like right here along the side, the way that it opens up, there's just little plastic tabs that holds it in place. So you're not breaking anything per se. And I like to open it from the back because once you get it open, you can kind of just pull it from the front and the memory card port, comes off just because of the way that the plastic works. It's easier to do it from the back to the front because if you did front and back, there's these little plastic tabs where the memory card port is. Let me find it right here. There's just more plastic little tabs, so you'd have to like break those off individually. It's just more work. So go from the back to the front, open it off, and here we go. This is the inside of a 90K. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit with the webcam controls here. Properties, configure video. Cool. All right. Just a bit. All right. So I know this looks a little globby just because of how zoomed in we are here. So I apologize for that. I'm going to go try to explain in detail what's going on here. So this is the front. I'm looking at it backwards, so excuse me if I do orientation stuff weird. This is the front. This is the back. This is your power board. Connects to the motherboard. All this metal right here, this is shielding. So underneath this is the motherboard. We're not going to touch any of that. Don't got to worry about it. But I'm just going to talk about some stuff here. This is the main sled. This is the assembly. So I don't suggest that you take this out, but it does like kind of flex. It moves here. It's got little rubber pads. That helps seat and prevent from like vibrations and stuff. So make sure that when you do open it up that you have these rubber pads on here. They're not going to be any screws. The 90Ks don't have the screws. They have screw posts if you want to take your old screws and put them in. Okay, so other things, we have the fan here. It's connected by a ribbon cable. We have the salt and pepper cables for the power, the internal power supply. Fun fact, 70Ks have this brick in like it's a wart. You connect the cable that you would connect for your power into the wart, and so this is external in those models. So this is the sled like we were talking about. This is the ribbon cable right here that connects to the laser, which is right here. We're going to be going over some stuff for the laser individually. That we'll be able to just take care of willy nilly. I was talking earlier about a worm screw. This is the worm screw. So the way that it works is, as you can see, probably just looking, maybe not in the video, but on your own, there are screws and grooves. And if you hold this, let's see if I can get a little bit of an angle. Actually, this is actually kind of perfect. So right here, you'll see that there's a plastic bit right here. All right. And there's these two little plastic bits, and they are teeth, and those teeth fit into the groove. And lo and behold, when you move this thing, it moves the laser. So that's literally how it works. The motor spins up from this cable. That's where it gets its power. Spins this motor right here. And then it carries the laser forward and back. And that's based off of, I'm not going to show you, but underneath, well, I'll make a second video if what I tell you to do, it doesn't actually end up working. What we would do is we would unhook the ribbon cable from under here. We would take the sled out, flip it upside down, and there's going to be two screws. There's a CD and a DVD screw. So you get a multimeter, you measure it, and basically you just want to turn down the resistance a bit, because basically it just means that it's losing its shelf life. The laser's losing its shelf life, but we'll see how that goes. I really do think it's the one thing. So that's kind of just the explanation of like the overall PlayStation 2 for the 90K. What we are concerned with is, I will flip it around, because this is how you're seeing it. When you turn on the PlayStation, you just hit this button. The only thing, all right, let me back up. So for the PlayStation, you put the disc in, right? Let me grab a disc real quick. See if I can emulate this. Cool, Harry Potter. All right, so you're gonna put a disc in here normally, right? You put the disc in here, and it's gonna spin up like it normally would. No big deal. So what we're gonna look for is, when we put the disc in, we would close this lid, right? So let me break this lid back out. You would open this lid, right? And then we would, okay, we're gonna, set it to fastest speed, and then you're gonna close. Boop. So when you close, there's a bit of plastic on this lid here, and what it does, I'm gonna zoom back out just because a little too zoomy. All right. What it does is you slam the lid closed, right? And what it's actually doing is a bit of plastic is hitting this power switch, right? So if we look at this power switch, there is a white button right here. And on top, and I'm not going to be able to show you this very well, but if you're looking at yours right now with the video, there is the white switch right here. And on top, there is a small little lever right here. I'm kind of flipping it up and down, up and down. That is the lid sensor switch. So I was kind of talking to you about this earlier. So what happens, you can kind of just sit here and flick it with like a whatever you pencil or your fingernail, whatever. What happens after a while is dust settles in there, because over time. And what happens is when you power this on, there is a laser that is a sensor, and it basically tells when this is fully down, it allows the laser to pass through, which accepts the sensor and tells the PlayStation, hey, the lid's closed. If there's dust or gunk in there, or overall just between like the casing and this button, if there is any like debris or detritus that is preventing the laser from telling this console that, hey, the lid's closed. When you what's happening is you're closing the lid, like for your memory card snafu that happened, you rebooted it, you did fastest speed, closed the lid, and what's happening is it's trying to start, but it's not getting this acknowledgement signal from the PlayStation motherboard that lid is actually closed. And this happens to a lot of people during load times in the middle of games, or even when a soft lock will happen. Usually when a soft lock happens in battle and like a boss like starts just tripping out doing one thing over and over again, that's usually the disc. But most of the time when it's in between like loading zones and like trying to start the disc up, just basically boot up or any sort of transition screen or into an FMV, the most likely culprit is this fucking stupid little switch. So what do we recommend? All right, so I bought this it's called Deoxit D5. I mod a lot of consoles. So in general, I love this stuff because it's contact cleaner. So like layman's terms, these are all contacts, like right here on this green PCB printed computer board circuit. So you can just like, just hit some spray on here, and it will like dry up and dissolve. And there's no liquid. There's no water or any components that are going to damage it. So I would recommend maybe a contact cleaner if you have some isopropyl alcohol laying around the house. You could do that for the switch. And what I would recommend is maybe just here. Let me do it here now. So I just get it a little wet. You can even be messy with it, and then grab a little towel and just like kind of dab it. But as long as you just get some of that wetness on there, the goal is to, you can even soak this little switch. Like you can get it wet in there and just kind of flick it around, push it, get some good tension on there. Make sure that it's free of debris. And you'll even see maybe like with putting the contact cleaner in there or isopropyl, you'll see like little bubbles. That's fine. Just, you don't want to drench it, but you can go ahead and get it nice and wet. Just flick it. Just kind of show that, the device is working, that it's clean. And, this is probably going to be your fix. This is probably going to 100% fix your issues, but I will go ahead and cover a few more things that could be a minute since we got it open. Basically, since we got the console open, let's take care of these few things first. Cool, we're back. I got a few more materials. All right, so one thing that I would just recommend in general is once you're done like letting this switch, be cleaned and free, and you're messing around with it, I would just let it dry. Like I maybe for like 15 to 30 minutes before you like close it up and test it. I would just let it dry, get back to its the rigidity that it was once at before. Especially as in contact cleaner or isopropyl, it's going to dry almost instantaneously. So just giving it that little bit of time will be fine. All right. So now step 2. Since we're here, I mean, if you have like compressed air, go ahead and feel free to go ham here. Maybe steer clear of just this black part with the lens. Not that air could like damage a bunch of shit in here, but if you don't need to blow air on a laser, why? Why not? So what we're gonna do is I have one of my condiment dishes from my kitchen sprayed with a beautiful Windex. So just go ahead and get some glass cleaner in there. I would just dab it just very slightly. You can even like just get it really like soaked in there, and then just take like a towel and just make it not super crazy damp. And all we're gonna do, just very lightly clean the lens. Don't put too much pressure, put a little bit of pressure. We don't want to get like Q-tip gunk or anything in there. Go ahead and give it another little tappy tap with the glass cleaner just to polish that laser up real quick. Because it might be smudgy, could be, whatever. Take another dry one. This is the second one, not the first one that I used. So go ahead and just polish it up. Maybe give a little bit more pressure. That laser, it might sink down just a little bit with that pressure, but it should pop right back up. Just buff that laser. Let's look at it, and I'm just going to go ahead and give it a little light blow just to make sure that there's no, things. All right, and after we've done the switch feels more rigid. We give it a little bit of time. We clean the laser with glass cleaner. We, for all intents and purposes, cleaned out the motherboard, and let's go ahead and start buttoning this guy back up. All right, we're gonna go full zoom out for this. Excuse the wide angled. You can actually you can see the screen. I'm actually viewing the view of my webcam. It's silly. Okay. Anyways, I have the PlayStation facing me, so the memory card ports are facing towards me right now. So what I like to do, get the back of the case, and you want to line up just the back. That's the best part to do first, is line up, just get the clamshell back on over the power port and the Ethernet port, and just start to squeeze. What I like to do, you've got the back on, it's secure. Slowly make your way around, and you'll see right here, the line you'll see here's the shell and then the plastic. I'll even take it off, snap it on. Take it off, snap it on. You just want to follow that line all the way around. So right here is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning. You might not be able to see very well, but you can kind of see how there's like that lip right there, right below the PlayStation logo. You can see like some black tabs. That's like the reinforcement that I was talking about. Even if I hold it upside down, you can kind of see a little bit up in here, the plastic tabs. So once you get to the front where the memory cards are, just lightly snap it back in. Yeah, see, if you go from the back to front in the same way that I told you, just following the same exact ways, it will naturally follow the contour. And there we go. It is sandwiched. Very nice. So we don't have the screws in, but we did get the shell on. And, you know, open, close, open, close. A good sign is when you open and then you just close with one finger, you can hear that snap of the button. Because when it was sticky, or if it was sticky and had debris in it, when you closed it, it might have made like just like a quick thud, but now it should click. That's what you want to see. All right, let's get back into the screws. All right, so literally the reverse of what you wanted before, you know. Remember where the pads go, it's going to be catty corner of the pads that won't come off, you know, and then you can put these back in any order you want. But I will tell you one fun little thing that I like to do, and it helps because small screws with retro consoles can strip very easily, and you can kind of prevent that. So what I like to do is I have like a magnetic tip. This might not be as easy if you don't have one, but I like to put it in, and before starting to before starting to like just screw it in, you know, righty tighty lefty loosey, I like to make sure that it's straight. And what you're gonna do is give it a quarter turn in the opposite direction of making it tight. And you are going to feel like clicks of the groove of the screw. And then as soon as you hear that click, stop and then tighten from there slowly. And that's the easiest way to just get the most direct, like straight in, not like screwing it in sideways or down sideways, you know, because that's one of the biggest things I've learned just on opening consoles in general. Is when you screw them back in, you just do that quarter turn backward. So I hear a click, another click, and boom, there's the click. It kind of like, you can feel it seat itself down once you do that click. And then from there, you just tighten it. And you don't have to go crazy power tightening it back up, but that's basically how it is. So I'm going to screw these back in, and I'll see you here in a second. Alrighty, we got all of our screws in, nice and classy like. So let's go ahead and get our pads back in. All right, got the regular seal. What we got here? Our rubber one. So let's go ahead and put that caddy corner to the other rubber one that we didn't rip out. Cool. Plastics. You can even just do these with your finger. It's definitely the preferred method. Don't get a crab claw or something to do this. And all right, sweet. And there it is, button it back up. So now what should happen is should be able to put in a disc, right? And I don't know where. Oh, here. Go ahead and put in Harry Potter. You know, you're gonna do what you do, fast disc speed, boop boop. And one thing that I would like to do, and what I always do, you know, I want to give as much attention to what's been happening with the slow boot up as possible and things to prevent it. So we've done this laser switch that sits right here. Here's the little window for it if you're ever thinking. And then there's a plastic bit right here. So boom, that's kind of how that works. I didn't mention this earlier, but if you do have a 70K, there's that laser switch that we cleaned here. And there is also one in the back. Let me flip it this way. So you get, in the back, it's kind of like over here. If you do have a 77K or anything below that, let me know. And that one switch that in that one in the back, that one is the one that fails, you know, more often than this one for 77 over 90. Back to what I was talking about, Scatterbrain. So you're gonna do fast disc speed. We did the switch. We did the laser cleaning. So now you do fast disc speed. This is how you close it. Just hard. Like, don't even be nice about it. Like, like I'm sure, we all slap it closed, but like honestly, like what I like to do, and this is super weird, is like just like this edge right here when I'm closing it, I put my finger like literally right on where the power button is going to like contact with it, and I just press on that spot just once. I don't have to continue to keep pressure on there the whole time, but it's literally just boom. You don't have to slam it. You can slam it if you want to go like boom. I mean, that's not going to hurt anything. So, yeah, that is going to be it for the 90K. Please let me know if this has helped you. We can definitely go forward. If it still is doing has like issues loading or booting up or anything after this, let me know, and I will make another one of these videos. Yeah, I hope you have found this informative, and catch you around the bend, good sir.